If there's anybody here who's feeling nauseous, nervous, or afraid of what lies ahead, it's probably because you just married Sylvester. I'd like to congratulate Sylvester on his excellent taste in best man. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Billy and I'm Sylvester's best man. Actually, Sylvester had a lot of trouble finding someone to be his best man. He started by asking his funniest friend, and he received a no. Then he asked his most charming friend, and again he received a no. Then he asked his best looking friend, and once again he received a no. Then he asked me, and after already turning him down 3 times, I couldn't refuse him again, so I said yes. Alright, I want to thank you all for coming out to celebrate this marvelous and monumental milestone in Paulina and Sylvester's relationship. Paulina, you look beautiful. Sylvester, nice suit. You look good. When I decided to take on the role of best man, I knew I had an important task ahead of me, and I had to prepare a speech. So stories of accomplishments started flooding into my head. I saw this as an opportunity to talk about a hero of mine. A handsome, kind-hearted, quite brilliant man, admired by all who encounter him. But when I showed this speech to my girlfriend, she told me the idea of a best man speech was to focus on the groom, not on me. I've known Sylvester since around 2012. I remember because I was one of the individuals who interviewed him at our old job. I remember thinking, great, someone I can boss around and get him to do all the dirty work I didn't want to do. I wasn't his boss, but I had seniority. Sylvester turned out to be the hardest working individual I've had the pleasure of working alongside. We sort of hit it off, and after a while of working together, we became pretty good friends. We would hang out often and stayed out till all hours of the night. I stayed over his place, he stayed over mine. But I remember when I would stay over his place, he literally had no food or anything in the fridge or the cupboards. His dinner consisted of going to the bodega and purchasing microwavable cheeseburgers. I was like, Sylvester, how are you alive right now? You need to go food shopping. You can't continue to live like this. Of course, you know, he had his vodka and beer, the essentials, of course. A couple years ago, I had the pleasure of going with Sylvester to his hometown in Ostrołęka, Poland, where I stayed for a few nights and got to see where he was born and raised. We also visited Warsaw and the Missouri district. Then we flew and spent 3 days in Amsterdam. For those of you who don't know about Amsterdam, you go there to have a good time and party. And that's exactly what we did. However, as I was preparing for this speech, Sylvester made me promise not to say what happened in Amsterdam. He said, what happens in Amsterdam stays in Amsterdam. And he told me if I did a good job today, then I could be the best man at his next wedding too. So my lips were sealed. Sylvester did well for himself. He came to this country in 2008, became a citizen 5 years later, and look at him now. He has a successful career. Making pretty good money. He has a great apartment in Long Island City. He's traveling the world, and he just got married to a beautiful woman who obviously cares for him a lot. And the fact that he's still alive and not malnourished proves he's finally eating real meals now. Thanks to Paulina. Paulina, you're a wonderful woman who deserves a wonderful husband. Lucky for Sylvester, he asked you to marry him before you found one. I moved out of New York over 4.5 years ago. I moved to Las Vegas, so that's way on the other side of the country. So I haven't had the opportunity of getting to know Paulina personally. Actually, I just met her last week Saturday, but I do feel like I've known her for a while. I remember when Sylvester told me he met a girl and that he was really happy. As the relationship progressed, I remember when he told me they were planning on moving in together. Then I remember when he was asking my advice for engagement rings, because he wanted to propose to her, but didn't know how many carats he should get her, or when was an appropriate time to ask her to be his wife. I was so happy for you. And I couldn't wait to meet this girl who loves to salsa dance and travels the world to go dancing. It seemed like every month she was going to a different part of the world to go to a salsa congress. I was like, Sylvester, does she work? Or is she probably her job? Because I was so jealous. I wanted her life. I finally got to spend some time with Paulina this past week, and she even allowed me and my girlfriend to stay at their place for a few nights. So I was able to spend some time and get to know her a little better. And I can honestly see why Sylvester fell in love with her and decided to marry her. And I do have to say, Sylvester, just how lucky you are. You leave here today having gained a wife who is warm, loving, and caring. And Paulina, how lucky you are as well. You leave here today having gained a lovely dress and some great pictures for your Instagram. Sylvester, I love you like a brother, and I'm elated you found your true love, because you deserve it. Paulina, thank you for saying yes to this man and actually going through with it. Congratulations to you guys. I think you're a wonderful couple. You have a great time together, and it's obvious you make each other happy. And that's what it's all about. Finding our better half, maybe having some kids, and living the rest of our lives together until we get old and wrinkled. Before I finish, Sylvester, I remind you to never forget the 3 most important words that will help your relationship flourish and will get you through the toughest of times. You're right, babe. Please join me in wishing the new Mr. and Mrs. Arriba all the wealth, health, and happiness in the world. Nastrovia.